Welcome. It is not Friday. It's Wednesday. Special live stream. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're not going to be here Friday, so we're doing this wonderful episode on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. And I am so thankful that you are here watching the live stream. So welcome. Come on in to the Nutmeg Tavern. You are welcome. Come in, have a seat. We got some extra tricorn hats. You can sit over here by the fire. It's lit today, unlike last Friday. And I'm your host, John Townsend. And we're here to talk about all things 18th century, even sometimes 17th century, and occasionally 19th century if we have to. Behind the bar is not Ryan. Where is he? Right? Okay, well, Ryan's here. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back and inhabiting the bar, because this guy was not fulfilling the proper job. So Ryan is here. He's going to make it happen today. Did you have a good time away from us?
It was a wonderful vacation.
He likes to be away from. Anyway, on the other side of the time vortex, Aaron is on the console.
Hello.
And also, our time vortex liaison, Kyle.
Hello,
is
everybody.
In the chat thing, whatever you guys call it, on your side of the time vortex. So, there you go. You've got some questions for us, don't you?
I do.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do a couple. Let's get started right there.
Okay. When did they start having turkey at Thanksgiving?
1621. Next.
What chores would be assigned? This is the lightning round all of a sudden.
Yes.
What chores would be assigned to children, specifically during winter months?
Oh, firewood is way up there. Firewood and water. And that's what I assign my children to right off the bat. Go out, fetch those sticks out of the yard, bring them in. We need fire, and water is one of those big things. If you can't carry a lot of it, you can carry a little bit of it a lot, right? So those are some of the best ways. One more before I get to other content.
Can you tell us more about the open-faced lean-to we see in some of the videos? We never got to see the building of it.
Great question. We did a whole video and we decided it just wasn't good enough for you guys. That's just all there is to it. It just wasn't good enough.
Well, I want to show you guys the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And after cabin, it's gonna feel like a real.
Right.
Yeah, it's a letdown. Right?
I think what happened is we filmed it between raising a log barn and canoe.
Yeah.
And we put canoe out, and then it just didn't feel like it held up.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So it's similar to the cabin construction. We had how many of us out there? It was Josh, Ryan, me, Kyle. He wasn't out there. He wasn't out there. Aaron was out there shooting.
Well, Ryan was shooting too. It was pretty much just you and Josh, other than some behind the scenes.
I was kind of doing that. I was modern clothes helping.
Right.
Shooting.
Right. So, and it was good. We learned a lot, and a lot of the experience we used from that went right into the cabin. That was the first thing we used, the bark for roofing material on it. That was the first where we started to learn how to do the notching the logs. We learned a lot on it. It was experimental in a lot of purposes. Still standing, still doing great. The bark is still doing its job. So it's been a really good test bed for as we move into these other projects. And of course, we've already used it for multiple different video projects. I'm not sure if we might come back and do a little content on it, but I don't think we need to. I think the cabin really shows kind of where that goes. If you guys have more specific questions about that structure, go ahead, jump in there. And if it really needs a video, then we'll make a video for you.
Yeah, if you can follow along and do the cabin, you could do the open face structure, no problem.
Right. So, I want to get to it at the beginning of the show instead of later on in the show. I want to talk about all of the great people who help us out on Patreon. More than 500 folks help us out on Patreon. It's set up to do a very small amount each month, like $2, $5, or whatever you think is appropriate. You can do anything, $1 or
$5,000 a month.
No, you're not going to. I don't think you're going to do that. But so the new people this week, and this is like from Friday, so it isn't even a whole week. Michael Lambert, Marlene Miller, Stephen Wright, Chris Decker, Sherry, Jeff Whitehall, Cheryl Dorbar, Christine High, just Davis, and Kenneth Archibald, and special thanks to Nick and Nick T, who upped their amount. So people helping us out on Patreon. It's just like massive. Okay, super.
This is Friday?
Yeah, super helpful because that helps us say, okay, it's YouTube in the way it pays us is kind of retrospective. We can, it's like if we have a good month, 2 months later, we have extra money so we can, do more videos or more expensive videos. Whereas this is upfront. That helps us make videos now. It's like, okay,
You know what this tells me?
Yes.
Is they saw the live streams when I wasn't here and thought, this train wreck, they need help.
Yeah, they need help quick.
And
I agree.
so but now I'm back.
That must have been it.
I literally forgot to turn the fire on last week.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was cold in here.
Last week was a disaster.
You forgot to light the fire?
It was a disaster.
Forgot to light the
He
fire.
forgot to light it. He lit it midstream.
This guy behind the bar is
John
a real joke.
couldn't even get the.
He can't
nuclear
take care of
question
anything.
That's true.
The which question?
The weight of, or the atomic weight of.
Oh, yeah. Well, zinc is always
I
my
did hear about
thing.
that.
Also, some people support us directly on PayPal. They just say, hey, here's a tip. And there's a link down in the description section for both Patreon and PayPal. Cecilia Agualo, thank you for that just this week. So super, super duper thank yous. And let's go ahead and talk about, it's Thanksgiving weekend, right? And Thanksgiving is one of those things it's one of those holidays that makes us think about history right off the bat. And it's sort of directly connected with the Pilgrims and Plymouth Plantation. And then we have some other great examples happening in the 18th century during the Revolutionary War. There's multiple different sort of Thanksgiving Day things. They aren't necessarily a national holiday. And then later on we get into like the 19th century and it starts to become a state thing. The states pick it up, and it isn't until the Civil War and a little bit later that it becomes a national holiday. And hilariously, sometime in the 30s, early 40s, Roosevelt tries to play around with the day of Thanksgiving and people start to really complain. I love Thanksgiving's got a lot of great history to it. What's happening here? Are things exploding back there?
I'm just making beverages in the bar like barkeeps do.
Oh, okay.
Can you keep talking, John?
Okay, I'm not, just keep talking. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Well, I have to keep talking about this. Let me read to you this piece from the person asked about turkey, right, for Thanksgiving? Right, Kyle? Kyle, over here, Kyle. Remember that question? It was like turkey for Thanksgiving, the first question. And I answered it, 1621. Here's what Edward Winslow writes about one of these first Thanksgivings. He says, our harvest being gotten in, our governor sent 4 men fowling. So we got to go out and get fowl. So that we might, after a special manner, rejoice together after we gathered the fruit of our labor. They 4 in one day killed as much fowl, killed as much fowl as, with a little help besides, served the company almost a week. So they harvested a lot of animals. At which time, amongst other recreations, we exercised our arms. They shot guns off. Woohoo! Many of the Indians coming among us, and among the rest, their greatest king, Massasoit, with some 90 men, whom for 3 days we entertained and feasted. They went out and killed 5 deer, which they brought to the plantation and bestowed on our governor and upon the captain and others. So right there in the 1620s, just a year or two after the Pilgrims got there and set up shop, they're already saying, hey, we got lots of harvest. We're going to share this. We're going to have a feast right here at the fall time of year. They're eating deer. They're eating turkey. They're having all those sorts of fruits of their labors. So I think it's a great example of what's going on. There's also similar things going on in Jamestown in that 1630 time period. Some of the more interesting stuff happens. Those same Thanksgiving things are happening during the Revolutionary War. They're having days of Thanksgiving during the when there's a particular great victory. So they would declare a day of Thanksgiving for that. And in 1789. Congress everybody's so happy about the Constitution being finally, kind of finished up, that Congress asks the president, Washington, to declare a day of Thanksgiving, and he does that. But that doesn't necessarily turn into a annual national holiday until later on when we get into the 19th century. But there's some, just great. A lot of diversity to this Thanksgiving thing. It's put together out of a lot of different pieces, which is kind of interesting that it isn't just it started, this time and went forward. So it's got a lot of history to it. What else was I going to say? Oh, but I wanted to be thankful about the different things that happen with the channel. And so I had Aaron put together a little 1 minute piece, just video. We'll watch it and we're going to talk about the particular people that we've had on the channel this past year or so. And Aaron, you got that piece ready for us?
It's going, yeah.
There we go. So Carol Jarbo helped us out with that, with the Maggie video. Incredible. There's Frank in that video also. And Mike Miller doing the gunsmithing thing. Brian Allison with the writing series was wonderful. This one, what's Caudle's first name?
What's whose first name?
From Martin Station. The Caudle person that we did the... Steve, okay. Oh, there, I had it right. Michael Dragoo, Simeon England, Natalie and Tara. There's Jason Gatliff. We had the Apple brandy thing, and there's Brian Cushing. And of course, Rick and Hillary helping us out with the music. Rick and Hillary has helped us out with the music for years. When did we start with their music? Probably, I think, 8 years ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we first started doing cooking videos, I think we started putting.
Well, we started
2011
off with the zombie video. That was the first one.
2011.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the first cooking episode was
right after that. So, whoa. And that has been, even this year, has been quite the... We've done a lot of projects this year. Gone to a lot of different places. Talked to an amazing set of people. And it has been a year full, just chock full of stuff. The channel's done things that I am just... I can't even take in what the channel has done in the past year. Every once in a while, Aaron wait a minute, John, remember we did this year? And oh yeah, we did that this year. And every year, every time it's oh, really? So
yeah, it's been, I don't know. I haven't been able to look back and really reflect on the whole year, but it's been nuts.
Yeah, this has been our most traveling trip, that's for sure.
Right.
I think we've had more big projects this year than any other year as well.
It's no wonder that I feel tired sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Really? We've done all that? And cooking episodes besides? It's been intense. So there's all those people that's helped us out with particular episodes, particular topics. Sometimes in live streams, in other episodes, we visited these different historic sites, and we've also had all these comments that happen. I mean, really, the latest cooking episode, Monday's cooking episode, where we did the Welsh rabbit, and yes, it's rabbit. Really, it is. I know.
Also, David Cottle.
Yes, David. Is
Sorry,
it David?
I
knew
threw,
it wasn't
I threw
Steve.
that footage in last
I
second
know.
and surprised John with it. Sorry about
Who's
that.
Steve Cole?
Steve.
sounds familiar.
That's the Daniel Boone guy.
Yeah,
right?
sorry, Steve. Sorry,
Right,
Dave.
right, right.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew it
We've
was.
met
It's
so
like
many people this
there's
year.
two
I
names
was
and they're
working
very
on
similar.
this. I was working on this drink back here, and I didn't even hear your question. I just heard the last name, so I
Yes.
just went with one.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Even if you did get it wrong. But one of the things that's happened are these amazing comments that come through, and I tell you, reading comments is both a pleasure and a pain, right? So, and a lot of people, it's like, don't read the comments, John, but I have to do it, right? Because there are some gems that are there that just. And I said, Ryan, can you go back and find a couple?
Yes, and I did.
Lo and behold, one thing led to another.
Bartender put stuff where I can't find it. It's
Well, to
troublesome.
clarify, it's not don't read the comments. It's read them, but just remember for every one negative one, there's like 500.
I know,
Great.
I know,
ones.
I
You got
know.
to remember that.
All right. This one was short and sweet, and I liked it. It was from Connor.
Hey, can you get
Hogan.
your mic closer to you if you're gonna read them?
Oh, great. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. This
Don't
one
light
was
the paper on fire.
short and sweet from Connor Hogart the second. Let me. There we go. Nothing but respect for you, Mr. Townsend. I've enjoyed your videos. My dad enjoyed the gun toolkit you sell. I appreciate you bringing reenacting to the masses as well as the fantastic cooking you've shown. Thank you for all you do.
It's great.
Thought that was a really cool comment.
It's a great comment.
I'm trying to find the teacher one because that was one of my favorite.
Wasn't it up toward the top?
Yeah, here it is. Okay.
Oh, you're gonna do it? I was gonna lower your mic down. For you.
Oh no,
You good?
I'll shout. How
Careful
about that?
coming through the vortex.
Sorry.
You're going to get
Yeah,
torn
lost a
apart.
finger.
Jeez, guys, lost a finger. Wow, your ears where your nose used to be. This was from Amanda B. Hey guys, I thought I would tell you I heard John's voice coming from a classroom or somewhere the other day and thought my phone had started a video. I went to where the noise was and the teacher was showing his students one of your videos. I left with such a smile on my face. I hadn't been so happy in a week. The students were paying attention and I hope it left them interested and educated. Pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that
I
it?
was gonna say something. I just can't. It's like, I think it's really funny for someone. It's like my phone went off. It's starting to play a
Yeah,
video,
right.
and it's like, no, it's just something happening someplace else.
So I'm kind of between a fire and a frying pan. This drink's ready to go. Kyle, can you read some questions and we'll get back to some more comments?
Excellent
Actually,
idea.
let me grab some donations. I have some really nice
Go
donations
for
I'd
it.
like to read. Thanks everyone for donating, and we appreciate all the support as usual. Okay, so this was during. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the fire video. That was just a little video we put together. We
Oh,
thought it'd be
yeah.
kind of fun for the holidays, featuring the record "A Winter's Day" by
Yep.
Jim's Red Pants. You want to plug that real quick, and then
Yeah, Jim's Red Pants, the folks Rick and Hillary who do. It's like 99% of the music we do. Occasionally, we have Ryan strum on a guitar, but they do. we do. He does a great job. I'm just saying.
Awesome. Ryan's music rules.
But all the other music is Rick and Hillary, and the music that you are listening to while you are watching the fire from the cabin was from A Winter's Day. If you're interested in this, you can find it on our website. Did you put a link down
Link
in the
is in
description?
chat and in description.
There we go. There's
Okay.
a link to that. We'll see. YouTube. No, I'm not.
Yeah, let's get to the donations. I just wanted to. Well, these were comments that came during that video, so it made me
Very
think
good.
of the CD. Yes,
Very
very
good.
good. I'm very good at this. I just keep thinking about 99.9% of the music we use is them. Then Ryan
Strums on a guitar.
strums on a guitar. We kind of EQ it and then just throw it in. Okay.
Well, it is actually very much the truth.
Yeah, it is. It's all right, though. Okay, Caltoid5, thank you. An extra drumstick on me, thank you. Barbara Schultz, thank you. Mike Crook, thank you. For firewood in the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shawnee Judd, thank you. Christine Pearson, thank you. Caltoid5 again,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
In recent videos from Martin Station, are the giant stones in the back on their fireplace to reflect the heat, protect the mud, or both? That's a cool question. Tercero, thank you. Dearest John, I have no question, just a request that you have a most blessed Thanksgiving day filled with love, laughter, and nutmeg aplenty.
Woohoo!
With best love, Lewis of Providence Plantation. Thank you.
Whoa.
This is a Russian name. I'm going to butcher it. I'm just going to say thank you so much. Say from Russia with love. Thank you.
There you go.
Really nice donation from Nutmeg for Life. We really appreciate that. Warmest wishes on this Thanksgiving and a Merry Yuletide to you and yours. Congratulations on the completion of the cabin and hearth. Thank you.
Yes.
Kayla Galindo. We can see Ryan give. Can we see Ryan give the dummy the boot again? That was great. That did go really well. Tony Smith, thank you. This may have been asked, but forgive me. Why does Canada have Thanksgiving?
Okay.
Is it because of the royalists still celebrating after being expelled? I don't know anything about that. Some nobody, thank you. Doing great work. Keep it up. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Christopher T. We're all thankful for you, John, and everyone at Townsends for all the things you give to us. 1225 is sort of a Christmassy number, isn't it? That was his donation.
Ah, yes.
And then I got to scroll up and find Amber's donation. There it is. This is from Amble Crystal Daughter. Thank you so much. My wish list for next year: fiber art, spinning, weaving, knitting, and sewing, shoemaking, and trail/bushcraft. Video ideas.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Special thanks. A lot of thanks to all those folks out there. The giant stones in the fireplace at Martin Station. Yeah, both. I think would be the answer there. I think both reflecting heat and to protect the back, the back part of that. But almost all of the fireplaces there, I think all of the fireplaces at Martin Station are stone fireplaces in the first place. Probably they wanted, kind of longer lasting fireplaces, and they are blessed with lots and lots of stone.
Yes.
So it's just it's like, get those stones out of my way. Sort of like when you drive through Maine and you see these fields, right? And really it's just a field of rocks. Occasionally they scrape away enough of them that they can plant something there. We are here in northern Indiana where rocks aren't necessarily as plentiful unless you get really close to a river where it's sort of washed all the soil away and you have access to rocks. Right where our cabin is built, there's very, very few rocks on our particular piece of property. I think it was part of a larger farm, and wherever that farmer's rock pile was, it's not on our property. So a lot of people ask, it's like, well, why didn't you build the fireplace out of fieldstone? Because I don't have any fieldstone. If you don't have a supply that's close at hand where you're building your cabin, you're gonna work with what you've got to work with.
We had to work for those foundation stones.
Right. Even the foundation stones I actually got from a neighbor. We built our cabin just as if it's like, well, what if we walk in here into this situation? I need to build a cabin. I don't have a tractor with a giant, trailer to haul rocks in from a mile away. I'm going to use exactly what I've got in my spot. So I'm going to use clay. That's what we did. Canada, Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving isn't just a North America or isn't a United States holiday. there are harvest and that time of year celebrations, festive things from all around the world and all throughout time. And Canada, Thanksgiving, which is our basically Columbus Day, is happening in October. It's a harvest festival, so you don't have to have that same, you don't have to have a specific reason to have a Thanksgiving Day. And at least, I mean, I'm not from Canada, so that's my answer. So I don't have the specifics on Canadian Thanksgiving. Fiber arts and bushcraft and all that. We'll do our best. We will do our best. We really are. We plan ahead for a lot of things, and then some things is like, hey, I'll get excited one day and I'll be making a video about the topic the next day. So I will keep in mind fiber arts. And I really need to redo some of our videos on fiber arts. Like there's an Inkoloom video that's still kind of popular, and I probably did it 8 years ago. So I'll do my best. Kyle.
Yes.
What you got?
This is actually a comment that I thought was really cool. I wanted to read it.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, John, Ryan, Aaron, Kyle, and families. We are thankful for all you guys do to promote living history. Thanks for using our music too, and that is from Rick Wagner.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you for the music.
Thank you.
Yes.
This one says, will there be more from the cabin before the fire? I don't know what that means.
Before we burn the
Read it
cabin
one more
down?
No, we're not gonna do that.
Do 18th century story time.
Actually, what was that?
That was the second half of the question. You could do 18th century story time.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We're going to shoot in the cabin.
So let's talk
cabin a
about
lot.
this fire bit. Did we say that it's going to be a video that people can watch?
Yeah, that's the
Did we
plan.
cover all that?
That video that we played
Yeah.
before the stream is going to be a standalone. We just got to figure out if we're going to take it out at the beginning of the stream, because I messed up and I restarted a couple times on accident. OBS was not behaving.
The software's a little. That
So we
time
might cut
vortex.
that out of the beginning of this stream replay and then
Right.
post it standalone, because it is pretty cool. It's kind of like that Yuletide.
And that was
thing
really
for
cool.
Yule
That
log.
came from a comment. That idea came from a
Right.
comment on Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
As soon
thank
as
you.
Yeah.
Ryan said it, it was like, "Ooh, we got to do that."
Yeah.
Great idea.
The drink for
Yes.
today.
Oh, it's really good.
Ryan.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Man, it's a celebratory cold
It is.
weather drink. Let's go. I added a little bit of sugar and spices. We used some milk and chocolate, and
You
then I encouraged John to.
How much
scrape some
nutmeg did you put in this?
Well,
I can taste it. Just
Aaron graciously cleans the establishment when I was gone, and I can't find my nutmeg grater now.
It was right back there.
Well, who knows? John Wayne could.
John Wayne could have taken it with. Speaking of which, I can see his heel right behind that chair.
Yeah, his. Oh, look at that!
Oh,
It's
no.
on top of him. My nutmeg grater is on top of his chest
Nuh-uh.
right now.
He stole
Sure
it.
is.
Thief.
Yeah,
there.
There it
very
is.
Safe.
Well, he is not welcome back
No.
ever.
No, you keep him out of here.
The nutmeg it made all the difference.
As far as that question, though, yeah, we plan on shooting out there a lot.
Yeah. You're gonna
Journal reads, stories, all that
Yeah.
in
stuff.
2 months' time you're gonna say
Yeah.
another cabin video.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, guys. Have you ever been anyplace else?
To be fair, Monday's video is in the German kitchen.
That's right.
So it'll make you miss the cabin a little bit.
That's right.
So this comment is from Shawnee Judd.
Okay.
Hard work equals gratitude equals joy.
Yes.
Nothing is quite as humbling as realizing the hardships that you must occur in order to bring such an ambitious dream to life. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sitting by that warm fire in the cabin you built by hand. It's keeping dreams alive for more than just you and your crew. That's pretty cool.
It makes me think about the. A lot of times we do things just for ourselves, and other people don't get to experience that. And when you have to take the time to record something, it does change it for you. It changes the in a good sometimes in a good way and sometimes in a bad way when you say, oh, I've got to stop, I've got to have somebody from the time vortex come over and record this thing, and it changes the experience. But I am not I'm never upset by that, because I know how much people enjoy being able to come and experience that. And truly, it's just totally true, but I just lost what I was going to say. Read it again? I didn't want to miss this.
Yeah, so hard work equals gratitude equals joy.
That's it. That's it. That's all I needed. That truly, the harder the project is, the longer it takes, the more energy you put into it, gives you a greater feeling of gratitude and thankfulness when you're done with it. And it's hard to remember. Sometimes it's hard to remember all the pain that a particular project is. Maybe that's a good thing, because then we wouldn't do it again, right? But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was just going to say, I picked out a few comments to read because, you're sifting through and you're looking for particular feel or words that you won't stumble over when you're reading them out loud. But there are a ton of comments that are just awesome, and a lot that are saying, hey, thank you for letting us live vicariously through your adventures. And that is killer. Like, I don't know that clicked for us until just a few years back. That's like, we do this so they can do that in a lot of ways.
Well, and there was the video that I did, I don't know how many years, 2 or 3 years ago. And it was the I'm torn video, and there's my face, and it's looking all sad. And it was the I'm torn between using YouTube and actually wanting people to not use YouTube. So we use YouTube, but we use it to encourage people to say, stop watching YouTube, and go and do the thing. And some people don't have the opportunity. They don't live in the right place. They don't have the personal circumstances that allow them to do that, or, whatever it is. And so the channel is the only way to sort of vicariously experience these things. I don't want that to be true for anyone, but sometimes it is true. But I do, and I so want to encourage anyone who does have the ability to turn off YouTube and go out and do the thing to do it. Because I think it's very, very important in being a person to be able to do that whenever possible. Because I think today in the modern age, on the other side of that time vortex, we have a problem in society that we don't have the ability to go out and do these things as much as we really ought to. We're stuck in things like YouTube or Facebook or all those other social media things, which I don't think are actually good for the majority of people.
And if we take it a level deeper, one thing that I like to do is, when I'm not doing things for the channel and I'm building something, I use a lot of power tools and stuff because, man, it makes things go fast and it's really convenient, and they're fun and they're interesting. But sometimes it's fun to take a project and just use hand tools. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to take half of that or a quarter of that load of wood and split that by hand rather than using a splitter. And the more that we do that, just little bits, I think that we can connect.
Well, even today, Brandon and I were out there working on another part of the cabin project, which may or may not turn into a video. But we were using axes, carpentry axes, which I think is pretty funny. You don't go to the local hardware store and say, "Oh yeah, I need a carpentry axe," But that's what we were using. That's that, and it's like,
well, yeah,
power axe.
It's nuts how you start figuring out why are there so many different of the same tool, and then, now I understand why.
Yep.
All right, Kyle, let's get some questions.
Well, real quick, I'll.
He's just about to open his mouth.
I'm going to say something.
I had something profound.
God.
We'll
Go for profound.
No.
He's got
We gotta hear
profound.
that.
Hit it.
No.
I've got
Do it.
enough gin
We'll do
back here to
questions.
bring the real profound out.
We'll do questions.
Okay.
I'll come back to it. Well, next comment, I'll say it. Next comment, you read.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it better to make the turkey Thanksgiving Day or before?
Anyway, so what I was gonna say, what?
Is this lightning?
So
No.
here's the interesting part of that question.
Oh, good.
I
Somebody's got
I
it.
think that the turkey is best the day of, but the dressing is best day after. So you're gonna catch 22.
That's heavy. That's deep.
Yep.
I'm gonna let that stand.
Let that one simmer.
That was a lovely Cheshire cheese John was cooking with on the Monday video. Where did he get it? From a local cheese shop, or did he buy it online?
It was purchased online. Because you can't get that around here.
Are there any Thanksgiving traditions that were around then that we don't do now?
I think just holiday traditions in general. That's a tricky one, and I wish I knew the best way to answer that. I would say that it was much more likely to be things like, hey, let's talk about why we're thankful, or on this kind of a holiday, there's quite likely, and I'm kind of toying with this concept and trying to figure out how I can bring it to the channel more, personal music or DIY, self-made, people doing music, which in any celebratory situation, they obviously didn't have any way to play recorded music. And so I think we truly miss out on music done by people, regardless of how horrible it is, right? Live music, even when it's not up to professional standards, is always so much more interesting than recorded music. So I think that those are the kind of the big things that I would point out.
Do the walls of the fireplace feel like concrete after all of the prepping and heating? How long do you think it could last?
Well, it's made out of the same material that the oven is made out of, that we made in the first season, which is 7 or 8 years old by now, and it is hard material, and as long as it's kept from getting rained on, it will stay, other than cracking and whatever, will stay in great shape. There are houses made out of cob in Great Britain that are probably 300 years old, so there's no reason to believe that it can't last a good amount of time. Now, obviously, in this setting where it gets a lot of heat, it will deteriorate over time, but I expect it to last a good long time, and it can be repaired and you can keep renewing that inner surface if you need to.
The first part of that was, does it feel like concrete?
Oh, does it feel? Yeah, it's
hard stuff.
It's pretty hard
I don't
stuff.
think that it feels like as dense as concrete.
No,
but
it's a little airier
it's
than
hard,
that.
though.
right, but it's nice and hard.
Right.
Was going hunting on Thanksgiving ever a tradition? My husband's family has been doing that since the 1940s, and they mostly shoot clay pigeons now.
Well, I mean, I read the piece here from Plymouth Plantation in 1621, and it was not the day of, but certainly that whole preparatory period before that, where they went out for 4 days and got waterfowl and turkeys, whatnot. So, that's a tradition, because that's part of the harvest. While there's the harvesting of the grain and then whatever, it's a traditional hunting time to go out for turkeys, go out for deer in this circumstance also. And it's that time when it's going to be cool. It's cold at night, so that those meat things can last a long time. So this is like this time of year is also traditional butchering time, because of course, if you butcher early on in the spring or butcher in the summer, the meat goes bad right away. You don't have any way to store it. So, yes.
How would they clear creosote out of the chimney?
if I'm
That's a difficult.
yeah, that's a difficult question. I'm not sure that they did it all that often.
I doubt anybody wrote about it if they did.
Yeah, I mean they caught their chimney on fire and then they rebuilt it. And I think a lot of times the chimney openings are so much larger that it's not as much of a problem. And their fires probably were much hotter and less smoky. So they didn't have as, I don't think they had as much problem with that.
Well, there's regular maintenance and upkeep to those chimneys anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that it would be an issue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Here's another comment.
Yeah.
This one is from Jacqueline Castle. I wanted you to know that I just found your channel less than a week ago, and this was a month. This comment's a month old. Less than a week ago, and I have been on what you might call a binge ever since. I've also shared your channel with several of my history, cooking, and nerd friends. While your 18th century cooking videos are my favorite, I absolutely love when you do historical how-to segments as well. It's the dedication and efforts of people such as yourself, your customers, and your viewers that keep history alive for successive generations. And I want to extend a very heartfelt thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, especially for sharing our videos.
I'm glad that she included the viewers and the customers in there. That's really cool.
And it's so exciting when you see, and people every day are finding the channel. They've never seen it before, and it's like, why has this been? I haven't found this for 8 years or whatever. I think it's great when they stumble upon the channel or somebody else shares it with them. You hear a lot of stories about people sharing it with other people that aren't as savvy about YouTube. Oh, I shared this with my my parents or, whatever. It's always great to hear those stories, and we hear a lot of those stories. And other people will share the content on something like Reddit. Yeah. And that's incredible when people do that, because a lot of times it takes off and it really helps the channel out and new people find it. In fact,
we love you.
Thank you so much.
That.
In fact, there's a new one. I think is it today or the last couple of days? Al Andalusia on Reddit shared a picture, and then it just lots of people commented on it.
It was in our picks. That's like one of the big subreddits.
Yeah, one of the big subreddits. So whether it's on Facebook or Reddit or any of those other places where people share content, it's always fun to watch those and see what happens with them. So
what was your profound? You said in the next comment you had something to say, Aaron.
Oh well, I mean, just real quick, I was gonna say
hey, I got some questions.
I don't know who's saying this. Carl, it's 2 questions. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, go ahead with your profoundness.
Nah. Oh, let's do some donations. I do have some donations I want to read before. No, what I was going to say was, I don't know, if people follow it, the total views. Obviously, we follow the total views on our videos, and the newest cabin video is, over 600,000 views. It's probably going to do, 1 million here soon.
That's amazing.
It is probably my favorite video we've ever done. Either, the project, how it turned out visually, all that stuff. And when you see that many people watch it, and not only that, commenting and saying how much they appreciate it and how much they like it, or hey, that this is a lot of hard work, or this camera work is really good. That stuff keeps me going. Yeah. Seeing that people get it and are we're excited about it, and then they're just as excited about it. And seeing a video that I love so much blowing up like this is it's the best ever,
It's really cool how the viewers we feed each other, right? Because the viewers are thank you so much for this information or for letting us be part of this. But you guys let us play with cameras and think of ideas and build projects, and if it wasn't for that, then we wouldn't be doing those things. So you're feeding us just as much as we are you, and it's really, really cool.
Right. And given like the support and the comments and stuff, I know when we go to like shoot videos, it's like, well, this better look awesome because that's what our viewers expect, and you can't just phone it in or anything like that. So keep us in check on that for sure.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny because, you know, while we're doing a project like the cabin, it's a total mixed bag. I'm there and I'm thinking about construction and I'm thinking about historical things, and then you have to have another hat that you put on that says, you know, how are we gonna talk about this? How are we gonna show this to the audience? And then Aaron's got his hat on of, you know, how can I be the young Stanley Kubrick and show this? How can I show this?
I did use a gimbal a few times.
Young Stanley.
young
How can I show this visually and keep people, both give them the story visually and keep it exciting and fun and fresh? And he's thinking not only from the, you know, this second, this shot, but putting together, it's like, what's the next one in this video going to have to be? So, you know, you're editing in your head and you're thinking, oh, I really need this shot. And the rest of us are going, no, we have to do this next. And we have to get this done.
There were times I would come out and I would see some stuff had been done, and it was I want to rip my hair out. Like, whoa, what did you... Like,
why did you do that? Right.
So you had to do it.
Right. And, you know, so we're up against a time. We're up against a time thing. We're up against a labor thing. We're up against a how do we show this visually? So it's a constant compromise to get a video like that done and still experience what's going on.
Well, and that's not just with the big building project.
No, it isn't.
I was on the phone yesterday with Hillary, and she had Hillary Wagner, Jim's Red Pants. She has this really cool idea. And then we had to like sit down and be like, okay, here's all this information.
Yeah.
There's a cool video in there somewhere. How do we extract that?
But what is the video? So it's not as easy as, just turn on the camera and then we'll edit this later.
Right. Yeah. And whenever we do that, it's always a nightmare.
Right.
We'll figure it out later.
And we used to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've gotten a lot better about that.
Yeah. But yeah, just in summary, I'm so thankful for all the people sharing it and watching it. I'm so excited because I'm really proud of that video, and we all are, and all the work.
And truly, we can't do it without all the backup encouragement that we get, and that's why we're so blessed to be on YouTube, where we get that, right?
Yeah.
If we were on PBS or whatever, right, we wouldn't hear a 1%, 0.5% of that same kind of feedback that we get on YouTube. Some of it's negative feedback. Well, so that can be helpful.
Rarely.
Right.
But it's still helpful.
Right. Even then, it's helpful. You know, somebody on that latest one where I did the rare bit, they said something like, you know, why are you talking? Why don't you just show me how to cook this? And it's like, well,
maybe they're right.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that this video isn't necessarily about cooking this. This really is more about the cabin than. So that's all right. If they want exactly how to cook this without any talking, they'll probably find it someplace else on YouTube.
Yeah. And for all, you know, like we've said, for all the issues that we've had with YouTube or people have, like, it is pretty awesome.
It is.
That
Incredible
you get
place.
to post something you made and people get to talk about it. It's still pretty amazing even after all this.
Are we ready for lightning round?
Yeah,
Do we have to move?
Well, we have donations too. We're just laughing right now.
One more thing I'm going to say is because it's not all YouTube side. For you folks that are writing reviews on products that you get, encouraging other people to buy those, and you're sharing products with your friends, that's huge. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, we had a great comment on the stump anvil. Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm responding to a really nice comment.
You got a question, Kyle?
Yes. Was there anything special you did to cure the clay for the fireplace?
We just lit up a fire, and a lot of that cob thing is, oh no, let it set, let it dry. We didn't have that choice. You know, if you kind of speed dry it, you can get extra cracks. I'm not sure that's actually true.
We reinforced it.
Yeah,
which is helpful. We learned that with the ovens.
Yeah,
and then because of that, I'm not sure. Do you think that we would have gotten cracking had we not have reinforced it? when we were trying to dry it that
I
quickly.
know it. I know it. It's going to crack one way or the other. You're always going to get a certain amount of cracking in that kind of material because you can't make this giant monolithic thing and not expect that it's going to have some cracks in it. So we just, slammed it together and boom, let's dry it right away.
We forced the heck out of it.
Yeah, because we had to. We didn't have any choice.
Okay, kids, we need to do some donations real quick.
Okay, go ahead,
We
Aaron.
gotta do these because we're running out of time. Time is flying. Muggles are cool too. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We don't have the teens in cabin in the woods horror trope in Europe. Is that from American folklore? Gina81, thank you. Have some extra nutmeg on me. Wishing you a wonderful Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
Yes.
Thank you for the wonderful videos.
Thanks.
Thank you for the donation.
Yes.
Richard Healy, keep up the good work. Thank you. Tim Hyatt, will there be more buildings for near the cabin, like a barn or animal shelter or storage buildings, typical of frontier homesteads? Stay tuned. That means yes.
We're gonna think about that a lot through the winter. How about that?
Mimzo, thank you. Hi all, love your channel. John, are you using a nutmeg grater correctly? You dumped it on the table instead of your mug. What, did you really?
No. Right in my cup here.
Tony Smith, thank you. Did the Pilgrims drink wild turkey on Thanksgiving, LOL, or did they drink? Kim I, thank you.
Well, call me a pilgrim.
Right. Kim I, thank you. One hot chocolate, please.
Mm-hmm.
Renee Shepard, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Amber Crystal Daughter, thank you. When did bamboo plants make it to the eastern U.S.? David K, thank you. Only recently discovered your channel and have been enjoying working my way through the backlog. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And this is from Angar, and it's a picture of a pirate, so I think it's Angar. Thank you for being my companions while I can veggies, darn socks, and sit by the campfire. Looking forward to 2020.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Keltoid 5. Hang on. Do one more from Keltoid 5. Thank you. Keltoid 5. Got a nice deal on some log pole fence posts. I am building my own open face lean-to
Yes.
outside Frontier Camp. Thanks for the inspiration. Happy
Sounds
Thanksgiving.
great.
Right on. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, and the question about teen horror in a cabin, I've got anybody got a
Got
clue for that one?
No.
Don't know.
Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, there was a question about the bamboo, and there's always been a kind of a reed. In fact, cane Tucky is all about cane reed.
Yeah.
That's as close as I know. That's other native kind of a bamboo-ish plant. There's certainly some of that going on here in North America as native, but I mean not a botanist, so I can't tell you more than that. Now, Kyle, let's do a lightning. How many we got?
A good amount.
Good.
Ready?
Kyle didn't get his chance for
Yeah, he's
for
been sad over there.
thankful words. If you haven't, you throw them in there, buddy.
Yes. Speak on it.
All right, here we go. How will the cabin be lit?
So far, we're on full natural lighting. We open up the door, we open up the window, and we got fire.
Could we have a live cooking episode sometime?
Whoa! The problem is getting the internet feed that's hot enough for a live. Here we've got a massive fiber connection that just
If we can make that happen, it will have to be a historic site. as of
right
now.
because you go out to
Or here.
exactly. You go 2 miles where the cabin is, and we got crappy.
So the short
Telephone
answer is
no.
when we can, we will.
We would love to.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would love to. It would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
What did you have in the cauldron on the fire video?
I had a lot of lard because I was thinking about a deep frying episode.
What kind of drone are you flying? Were you flying it in the snow at the beginning of the fire video?
We do the Mavic Air. That's our current drone go-to.
And yes, it was in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you plan to do a live chat from inside the cabin? That pretty much was already
Again,
answered.
problem with the internet connection.
If you can get good connection, then that'd be awesome.
How will you preserve the floor in the cabin?
We're just going to make basically a clay and sand floor that'll be a similar cob material.
Would indentured servants celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And this is the last one. Just wondering, does Aaron ever dress in the 18th century clothing when he is on location filming?
I mean, if I have to, then I will, for sure. Like, if it's a requirement by the site.
You certainly
I would.
have for photos.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I've
not
been
sure
in photos and
about
stuff.
well, there was that whole
I don't have, like, a
movie
kid.
thing.
What are you talking
It's
about?
been covered up. I usually don't, but if it's like a requirement at a site, I'll dress out. It's not a big deal.
The thing, most of the time, if we're at a site, it's kind of disrespectful to be in period clothing and be holding cameras.
Right.
We gotta
Yeah,
toe
exactly.
that line and be careful about that.
I don't want to be in comfy clothes for shooting
These are
video.
comfy? What are you talking about?
They are pretty uncomfy.
A couple more donations and we'll wrap it up. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Okay, Mike Crook, thank you. I made your cranberry tart and cranberry sauce. It was delicious.
Woo.
Thanks for helping me bring some 18th century history to our Thanksgiving. Peace and joy to all of you this holiday season. Thank you. And then David Faith, thank you. Thank you for being a blessing. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, Aaron.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mike
This
and
might
David.
be too difficult. Before we close down, can you drop the Thanksgiving playlist in the comments?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll see what I can find.
Excellent idea. Yeah, we did a whole series of Thanksgiving series.
Yeah.
With the turkey and the chicken and the cranberry and
Whenever
Indian
people
pudding.
ask about, are you going to do Thanksgiving stuff?
Right,
It's
it's like,
like, I don't know. I don't know.
gotta
if you
do it
top
over
that.
again?
That's like that's a
We
great
did
series.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like weren't there like 8 videos? In
Pumpkin pie.
that, yeah.
There was a bunch of them, and
Sweet
they were
potato
all
pudding, right?
Right. They were all out of the Amelia Simmons cookbook, which is 1796, and they just nailed it. So
Hey, I'm looking.
he's looking for it. So it's been an incredible year. We are so thankful for all the folks that we've dealt with, for all the people who support us, Patreon and all those other ways. People buying merch, you buy a mug or whatever, and you help us make videos. And it's a wonderful kind of back and forth. We are encouraged so much by comments that are just, regular public. And then there are people that are involved in living history at historic sites, all those things. It all works together and it all helps us understand the kind of content we need to make. And we have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
When Ryan and I go out, and Aaron, when we go out to, well, it's crazy. Can you imagine 8 hours in a car with
Best time of your life. John told me, he said, I need to level with you. Being with you is my favorite thing in the world. He said that to me.
Bye, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Wow, I don't recall that conversation, but
Or he said something else.
but we do.
That's what I heard you say.
We do have a lot of fun, and we enjoy so much, what we do because you help us do it. So I want to thank everyone for all the incredible things that they do here for this channel, whether I know about it or not. Thanks for coming along with us today. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Aaron.